a disease that tech can cure. They're not joking. Here's what you need to know. These guys are card carrying transhumanists. That's a real ideology that says biological humans are a stepping stone to something better. The goal? A post human species, engineered by tech, colonizing the galaxy. Musk Neuralink has already implanted a chip inside a human skull. Altman signed up for a company that will preserve his brain after he's dead. They control your AI tools, manipulate your social media, and now they want to own inside your head. Literally, I don't know about you, but I like being human, and I'm keeping it that way. Get my newsletter at getkim.com. You're being watched. Seriously. Every time you go online, your internet provider is tracking your every move. Here in the US, they actually sell your browsing history. Until that changes, you need to protect yourself. That's why I use ExpressVPN. It's an easy-to-use app that encrypts your connection and reroutes all your internet traffic through secure servers, so your online activity stays private. With ExpressVPN, your internet provider can't see your browsing history. It hides your IP address. That's the number that identifies you online, so you can't be tracked. And with servers in over 100 countries, you can appear virtually anywhere. It's so easy. One button and you're protected. Plus, ExpressVPN has apps for everything, phones and laptops, desktops and tablets, so you stay private anywhere you connect. Take your online privacy seriously like I do with ExpressVPN. Get up to 4 extra months of ExpressVPN at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday morning to you. It's the 21st day of April, and you have survived 420. Hopefully you survived it well without too many munchies.
I smelled a lot of it around town. So.
You didn't know what 420 was yesterday?
I forgot.
Or it was Al that didn't know?
Well, I didn't realize it was the day.
Oh, okay.
But I've heard of it.
I was listening to y'all's chat, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. I know what 420 is, and I've never touched the stuff.
I never have either. Never have.
It's just kind of funny, the culture out there. And I appreciated Dave Dagerpont's call yesterday.
I'm scared of Tylenol. I'm not going to.
You're scared of Tylenol?
Yeah, I don't like taking medicine.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, Nathan Martin here with you, Stephen Maxwell. Glad to have you along for the ride today. We've got a guest coming in at 7:30. Going to talk to us about a night of hope, a special night for cancer survivors. Pastor Brad Webb over at Family of Grace Church, something that they do. And then he's going to stick around for another segment with us to talk about a nonprofit organization that they have started a few years ago called Serving Grace. They're doing some really wonderful things in the community. So we want to chat with him about that and the things that are taking place over there. But up until 7:30, it's just me and Stephen. And I teased Stephen when he came in that I had something I wanted to talk to him about. And he wanted me to tell him. I said, no, I want your live spontaneous reaction on the air. So I think he's a little nervous.
I don't know what you're going to say.
But here's the thing. I wanted to try Popeye yesterday.
Oh.
And so I told my family, got home from work, let's go to Palmetto's because they have, Sweet Frog. I'm not Sweet Frog. They have
Popeye.
I'll get to that. They have Popeye. So we left the house. Well, unfortunately, it was like 6:15 or so.
Oh, they shut down?
And they're closed at 6. So like, oh, man, drove up. Well, then I remembered that Kathy's Frigid Frog had tagged you, that they have it. So I went over to see Kathy. And we used to see Kathy 2 or 3 times a week, to be honest with you. When she was on Edgewood, which is right by the house, And I just haven't gone to her new location yet. So I pulled up, and man, she was happy to see us. She remembered us. I mean, she's like, she in fact, I had my back window up, which is tinted a little bit darker. And she said, how's your daughter doing? I said, well, she's here in the back seat, and rolled the window down. She goes, hey, and she's like, do you want your raspberry? I mean, she remembered, what we ordered and everything. So I told her, I said, well, look, you know what I normally get? She said, yeah, you get peaches and cream. I said, well, not today. I want to try the Popeye. I said, actually, I want to try the Stephen Maxwell. And she just died laughing. It was hilarious. And then we had this great conversation about some other new flavors they have. My wife had the key lime pie first time. She's always a lemon lime, but that's something new they have. So she enjoyed that. And Yeah, I mean, Kathy's just in great conversation.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Really neat lady. So then she said, I'm trying to get Stephen to try the cherry moya. And I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, it's her new favorite.
No, it's good.
I want to try it. And so I bought one. And it's good. Cherry moya is a fruit, a really exotic looking, kind of looks like a dragon fruit on the outside, but they call it a custard. I mean, what do they call it? Apple custard type flavor.
Tastes like ice cream to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a delicate taste. It was a soft taste. Custard apple is what it's kind of called as far as what it looks like, because when you cut it open, it's got big seeds, but it looks like an apple. Some people say it has a flavor that blends pineapple, banana, and strawberry.
Okay.
Can you see that now that you've tasted it?
I have to do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe banana.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. So but then she had another flavor on there that's called chamoy.
That's the one I had. I'm sorry, chamoy.
You had the chamoy.
That tastes like ice cream.
Okay.
I didn't have cherry moy.
I don't know about that.
No?
Chamoy.
Wait, maybe it was cherry moy. Chamoy is the spicy one.
Yes.
Chamoy okay, I had cherry moya.
Yeah, cherry moya. And their names are very similar.
Yeah.
But we had a sample cup of the chamoy, and it was so good. Now, you have to like spicy. You have to like
No, Mexican. I hate it.
Okay, you wouldn't like this at all.
Is it where you put like the tagine on
Yes, that kind.
Hate it.
Well, I will tell you, it was delicious. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that's not me.
But what I love is, what I think is hilarious, I asked Kathy, I said, are you getting more requests for Popeye? She said, yeah, people are asking for it. And I said, that's great.
I don't know if they'll get it a second time, but they'll get it.
The power of Stephen Maxwell. Yeah. Well, then I saw another snow cone place out on 28.
Well, did you like it?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. It really...
It's different, isn't it?
It was just a hint of mint. It really wasn't a strong overpowering. It was really more of that bubble gum flavor. Yeah. And that hint of mint, it kind of felt refreshing.
It is. Yeah.
And so... But
do you like mint flavored things?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
Not typically.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Spearmint's good too. If you just get plain spearmint, it's fantastic.
If I'm going to get a gum, I don't get spearmint. I mean, I'll chew it if that's the only thing, but I'm more of a fruity flavor guy. So
I got you.
That's just who I am.
You like fruit stripes?
Yes.
So get the Tutti Frutti. It tastes like a fruit stripe.
I guess I get stuck in my ways. I get peaches and cream.
Tutti Frutti tastes just like those old fruit stripe
really?
Gums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm going to be a regular again, So I asked her, how she's enjoying the location. She says she really likes it a lot because her line is longer. She can get more cars stacked up. She used to have people wait in the Max parking lot to come see her. And she also said she doesn't have to clean up trash near as much because she used to have trash would blow over from the other parking lots around. There's no other businesses there. And I think she's going to do well with the walk-up traffic as well because she's in a neighborhood. So.
I've seen several people walking up. Yeah. So I want to say this. I think everyone, and this is bad on my part because I'm addicted, but I think everyone in town thinks I'm a regular because I go to all of them all the time.
That's great. I think that's pretty cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you go to one once a week, they think, oh, here he comes again. They just don't know you've gone to 6 other ones.
Exactly.
Every other day
I went to 2 one day, a couple times.
It's really not an expensive addiction, really. I
mean, it's like $2-3.
Yeah, if you get the small or medium size, it's not bad. Now you start throwing the cream on and ice cream, that adds up. But that's really not a bad, cost wise, hurting the budget too bad. But I just thought it was cool. I wish I could remember which one it was. And I don't know if they were 28 East or 28 West, but they were calling you to come out and check them out.
28 West. It was Boyce.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I'll go over there. I'll try it out. So I got my wife's family lives out past Kincaid, so we go that way quite often.
So you're going to have people left and right tagging Stephen for Popeye flavor.
I know no one cares, but and we'll get off this subject soon, but snow cones are just the greatest. It's like the most refreshing dessert you can buy.
But what I think also that's cool about it is
nostalgic too.
It's what?
Nostalgic too.
Yeah, there is. There is a nostalgia to it. And everybody's ice is a little different. You'll find some that maybe have I hate to call it a creamier ice.
No, I know what you mean. Smooth.
Yeah. So I was really hoping to go to Palmetto because I really like those folks. And so I will hit them before they close, now that I know they close at 6.
We go to theirs mostly on the weekend because we'll let Sophia run around.
Oh, that's great.
They don't have drive-through.
Right.
But it's more of like a go and sit and play kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. We love it.
Good stuff. So that's that's our snow cone update for today. And I'll be somewhere else today. And
would you buy it again?
Would I buy it again? I think I would. If I chose to have a rotation, I'd put it in the rotation.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's different. I'll give everyone that.
But I was also thinking, y'all were coming up with names like Popeye. Probably people see that and they probably think, oh, I want anything that tastes like spinach, right? I get that. And you said
Yoshi.
I got to thinking, how about the Sweet Hulk?
That'd be good.
Would that be a good name?
Or just Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk would
But
be
I think
good.
there's already a Hulk flavor.
Is there?
Yeah.
I wonder what flavor it is.
I'm trying to think of other green things, like what's new and green?
That's the only thing I came up with.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Hulk is fine.
I was thinking the Hulkster.
Yeah.
Some kind of manly thing.
Because Popeye, that's an old cartoon. So.
Yeah. Now, I totally, and I have to confess, I have used the Wimpy line multiple times in my life that I'll gladly pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today. I have used that line so many times, and most people have no idea what I'm talking about unless
I don't even remember that either, yeah.
But he was always, that guy, he would always walk around with a platter of hamburgers, and he was mooching off of folks. All right, we got a phone call. Let's go to it. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Well, save us from our snow cone dribble.
No, Stephen, I met you at the treehouse. I hope your daughter's birthday party went off without a hitch. I hope y'all had a blast over there. Look, I have to comment. We have NA for narcotics. We have AA for alcoholics. Do we need to start an SCA for stone cold addictions? I mean, do we need to?
I'm glad you put the C in the middle there. So.
Yeah, true.
I was like, don't do it.
I was afraid.
We could have a support group for snow cone addicts.
My teeth are starting to hurt yesterday. It's getting really bad. So.
Oh no! Instead of
I tried to have a snow cone party for my daughter, but they didn't buy it. So.
Well, I mean, your dentist, you're keeping your dentist in business, Stephen, by the snow cone. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's getting a lot of work out of you, but guys, I appreciate everything that y'all do. I know y'all got a guest coming on soon, but I just had to call and let Stephen know if he needs, we can start a snow cone addiction program. And two a day is pretty bad, Stephen.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to fit my pants at this point.
They do have sugar-free flavors.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit.
See, and Nathan, I'm diabetic, so I agree with you. Sugar-free does, but I mean, I have to agree with Stephen. They just don't taste the same.
Yeah.
But they've gotten better with sugar-free stuff. They really have.
It is getting
better.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's getting much. But I just had to chime in and tell Stephen that if we need to start a support group, we can start a support group for his snow cone addiction.
I walk in tomorrow and there's like a circle of people sitting in here.
Intervent.
With a ball of salt in the middle or something. I don't know.
The problem is, some of the addiction groups end up being ways that people find stuff. And so I have a feeling this snow cone addiction group would be like, we'd be sharing tips on where to find the best hidden flavors in town.
Hey, did you try this flavor over here? Have you been over here yet?
I like the daiquiri place.
I think a support group, not a recovery group. Okay, a support group.
We'll get the Popeye. I don't know if they'll have sugar-free though, but
Gentlemen, appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you for that call. I appreciate that. That was cool because I was afraid it was going to be one of our serious callers like, I need to change the subject, to war on Iran or, carbon capture or something.
Who doesn't like snow cones? Donald Trump.
What?
No, I'm just saying.
What? Oh,
they bring it back around to something.
I thought you were being serious. I know
he would probably like snow cones.
He likes Diet Coke and Big Macs.
He likes the junk food.
Yeah.
I get it.
I do too, I have to admit. So, hey, I tried something this weekend I've never tried before, and I was stunned that I liked it. I could not believe I might like this. Pepsi Zero.
Oh, they're good.
I had no clue.
I can't drink sodas, but whenever I could drink soda, Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero was fantastic.
Well, I'm a Coke Zero guy. That's what
Coke Zero is better.
But look, I'm gonna tell you, this weekend I was at a retreat, and I also like root beer, so I went to the root beer box, and there was no root beer left. They only had Pepsi Zero, and I just grabbed it like it's, and I was really surprised at how good it was. I don't like Pepsi at all. I really dislike Pepsi.
Really?
But Pepsi Zero
Well, I'm going to say like Coke Zero better because I need them to sponsor our Alzheimer's walk coming up. So we love Coke Zero.
We need to talk about that walk too in the
next
hour.
We will.
But so that's a great idea. Well, local Coca-Cola folks, and look out because a couple of Coke Zero addicts coming your way. All right, we'll be back with Brad Webb, the Night of Hope, coming up right after this report from Bloomberg.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Spirit Airlines is said to have floated offering the U.S. government an equity stake in the discount carrier to help prevent its liquidation. The proposal comes after the White House brokered a deal last year to become one of the biggest shareholders in Intel to boost the chipmaker's domestic initiatives. However, any proposed bailout is likely to get pushback from the competition, which are also struggling with the spike in jet fuel prices. Checking on your money, investors continue to remain focused on all of the developments in the Middle East. Wall Street hopeful about a peace deal. Stocks are looking at a higher open. And Hyundai plans to ramp up its production in the U.S. Like the rest of the auto industry, Hyundai has been dealing with tariffs along with supply disruptions and uneven demand for electric vehicles. The company says increasing the number of cars it makes in the U.S. will avoid the extra cost of tariffs. Currently, about half of the vehicles Hyundai sells in the U.S. are built domestically. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
What's happening at your library this spring? Everything. At Rapides Parish Library, there's something for everyone. We have book clubs, classes, and fun for all ages, all free. Adults, check out our painting classes, gardening workshops, and enjoy a live cooking demo. Kids, you can make slime, learn to draw cartoons, and more hands-on fun. Whatever your age or interest, we've got you covered. Visit your RPL library this spring. We promise you'll find something for you.
Well, look at Tuesday morning. Our forecast calling for mostly cloudy skies today. Afternoon highs getting up to 74 degrees. We'll see winds out of the south at about 5 this afternoon. Tonight, we could see a shower, maybe a thunderstorm up until about 7 or 8 o'clock. Otherwise, mostly cloudy overnight, down around 60. And then for Wednesday, partly sunny skies. We'll put about a 30% chance of an afternoon shower. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback. Stephen Maxwell, Nathan Martin with you for the ride this morning. Glad to have in studio this morning. And I'm going to turn that camera around. I want to make sure you get on there because Stephen will be back on in a second. He had to step out, but he'll be right back. Glad to have in studio Brad Webb, pastor of Family of Grace Church in Alexandria. Good morning, Pastor. How are you?
Good morning. It's great to be with you today.
Glad to have you here today. Family of Grace. How old is Family of Grace Ministries?
Well, actually, this is our 20th year.
Oh, come on.
20th year, yes.
That is great. Well, that speaks well. 2 decades of service in the community, and so glad to have you today. We ought to be talking about Dad. I don't know if y'all have a big celebration coming up this year, but really you're here today to talk about something you're doing for the community. Family of Grace does a lot for the community, but one of the things you're doing is a night called Night of Hope coming up here a week from Saturdays. Tell us about Night of Hope.
So Night of Hope came out of 2 things. One, there's probably hardly not a family in our community not touched by cancer in some kind of capacity, loved one, someone somewhere along those lines. The second thing, 14 years ago, I was given an invitation to speak at something called Camp Bluebird in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. And so I went and shared, and it was one of the, it just was a huge impact on my life. Cancer survivors come there for a weekend camp Thursday night through Sunday morning. And man, I was able to go there, and it's twice a year. And over the last 14 years, I've probably been twice a year, almost every year. And I just kept, matter of fact, it was last weekend. I was there last weekend at Camp Bluebird. And I would see what was happening in the lives of the people who was there. And I just kept saying, man, we don't have anything like this in Central Louisiana. And it was just so desperately needed. And so Night of Hope is kind of our very first attempt to encourage people who are walking through cancer or have a loved one walking through cancer or has lost someone to cancer. It'll be a night of a meal, entertainment, and then testimony, and then of course an encouraging word. And so it's going to be kind of action packed. It'll be a couple of hours long, but man, we're excited to hopefully encourage some people and then see if there's interest for something on a larger spectrum like this in Central Louisiana.
So that is great. You are absolutely right. There's not a family that hasn't been touched by cancer on some level. So I understand, whether you've lost someone to cancer or whether you have a good success story, you're both invited to this night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the community's invited, but we're really pressing in on those. And then if you are someone going through cancer, we do have a link. And if you would just look it up on our church Facebook page, you can find it there. It's Family of Grace. We would like for you to register because we have some special things for you if you're a patient going through that.
Oh, wow. So you want to provide some extra resources for those?
Correct.
Well, those who know me know I've been touched by my father. My father had the diagnosis back in 2006, went through treatment here at Cabrini, and then later when it came back was sent to MD Anderson. We're grateful we have a survivor story and something that we give God the glory for. So this is the kind of thing that would interest me and my family. Like I say, every family has had somebody touch them. This is Saturday, May the 2nd.
Yes, sir.
And at 6 p.m., it says North Campus. So tell me, Family of Grace has 2 campuses?
We have 2 campuses, and this one will be on the north end of town, right next door to Sinlock Camping, right there on Bolton. It's actually a North MacArthur address, or actually 1904 North Bolton will get you there. Yeah. 1904 North Bolton.
So for people who've been here a long time, and this is how I've told people how to find it, it's by where the old North Traffic Circle used to be, the old Casey Dyer Nissan dealership.
That is correct. That is correct.
You have to have been here like at least a quarter of a century to know where the North Traffic Circle was, and then Casey Dyer Nissan dealership.
And technically, our legal address is 1904 North MacArthur because of the traffic circle that was there originally.
Really?
But it takes you to Chuck E. Cheese, so we use 1904 North Bolton to get you there.
That's not confusing at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. So.
Oh, great. So tell me. When you come to this, sometimes people are they want to know, is there a cost? Is there a ticket to buy?
There's no cost. No cost. It's free to the community. All we ask is that if you are a patient, that you would register so we know how much food and stuff to prepare for that evening meal. So
okay. So I just found it on the Facebook page. It was posted on April the 16th. And I'm going to read what it says. We invite you to a powerful evening dedicated to celebrating strength, courage, and hope. This special night is created to honor those who are currently walking through cancer and those who have overcome it. Together, we'll share a space filled with encouragement, laughter, and love as we remind one another that no one walks this journey alone. And that's a powerful sentiment, because when you get that diagnosis, you do feel alone. Often you feel like, it doesn't matter how many millions may have had the exact same diagnosis. In that moment, you feel scared and alone. So this is a great way to let them know that they're not walking that by themselves. So you're looking. You're also. It says on here you're looking. If someone would like to volunteer, they can select the volunteer tab. So there may be some people that would say, "Hey, this has touched my family, and I want to help others." They can sign up right there as well.
Absolutely. They can sign up there, and we would be glad to have a conversation about them. And that really has to do with more future. There's things they can do for this event, but especially, would you be interested in future events for our community?
That's exciting. Well, I hope that the event goes so well. And I've put it on my calendar. I haven't registered yet, though, so I'll circle back around and do that. But I think this could be something that could lift spirits in a really significant way. So thank you for giving this gift to the community.
Well, it's a privilege. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share the platform.
Sure. Saturday, May the 2nd at 6 p.m. at the North Campus of Family of Grace Church. On North Bolton by, what's the name of the RV place?
Sinlock Camping.
Right next to Sinlock. Everybody knows that. So right next to Sinlock Camping. All right. I asked you to stick around, though, because you have another local serving group that I think is doing some amazing things. And since we got you in the studio, we're going to talk about Serving Grace, the nonprofit arm of Family of Grace, right after this.
Okay.
KSYL.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
Hello, I'm Mike Nichols, and I'm a candidate for Congress in the 4th Congressional District. With over 40 years of public service, I will fight for the people, not big government. As our congressman, I will work to make sure that the government spends our tax dollars wisely. I'm an American First candidate, with District 4 being a close second. Please vote for Mike Nichols, the right Mike for the job. Early voting begins May 2nd, and Election Day is May 16th. I paid for and endorsed this message.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Introducing Bluebell Pro, a dessert with up to 12 grams of protein and 110 calories or less per serving. Low fat, no added sugars, and gluten-free. Dig into a pint. It's more than just protein. It's Bluebell Pro. Never has high protein tasted so good.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft, but that's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If they find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes in your financial accounts, they'll alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that can make all the difference. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. LifeLock.com, 800-LifeLock, 1-800-LifeLock, or LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK at LifeLock.com.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
He's there now.
All right, welcome back to Talk Back. Glad to have you along for the ride with us, Stephen Maxwell, Nathan Martin in the studio. Brad Webb is joining us. Glad to have him here. Brad's the pastor of Family of Grace that's celebrating 20 year this year. I didn't realize that until I asked you on air. It shows me how unprepared I am. Well, what are y'all going to do to celebrate
Well, technically it'll be January, 2007.
Oh, okay.
So I moved here in 2005 in November and started it, and then in 2006 we started meeting in homes, but we didn't officially have public worship till January 2007. So
okay, all right. So you
have a few more months.
Got a few more months to plan something. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still, but if you started meeting in homes in 2006, this is the 20th year since you started. And I remember y'all met in the little strip mall where the Alexander Pawn. Is Alexander's Pawn still there?
It is not.
They closed, didn't they? Yeah. Is there a pawn shop in town open?
There's one on Lee Street, on Lee and Dallas down there.
Because the one on South MacArthur closed.
Yeah, they closed, and then I know the Silver Dollar closed. So I wonder what happened. Like, is it just there's no business for that, or what? I have no idea. That's not the topic of this segment, though. Pawn shops. I was just thinking that's where I identified you as starting, and then y'all purchased the property there, the former Casey Dyer Nissan, and got that as your hub of operations, and then later got the South Campus property. So wonderful things to happen as a church, and you guys have always been community-minded, outward-facing, serving, but apparently a few years ago you felt the need to start a nonprofit that would be the arm of these works so that it wasn't necessarily a religious thing or a church thing. So tell us about the formation of Serving Grace.
So the formation of it came out of the mission and vision of Family of Grace. And when we started Family of Grace 20 years ago, the Lord gave us the scripture to plant on, which was love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. And when I realized that, and the whole reason I started a church was because every church I'd ever been part of before that really only focused on the soul, And but Jesus said, I want you to love me in all four areas, with all your strength, with all your mind, with all your heart. Yet I had never really been part of a church that ministered intentionally to the other three areas. And so we started doing that. And then after quite some time, the Lord really began to bless a lot of those holistic ministries. And so we wanted to create some separation for a couple of reasons. Honestly, it's easier to find other volunteers to come and help with it not being a church and an independent nonprofit and stuff. And so we took our holistic ministries, gave those to that nonprofit. It launched in 2020, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about some of the things that Serving Grace does. One of the ones that I think is most impactful is your Cultivate children's mentoring program.
So Cultivate started, literally it started in its infancy about 12 years ago. We rented an apartment in Martin Park next to the school, Chateau Royale, and put 2 LCU students in there, and they would do after-school mentoring and stuff and homework help. And that went on. That was a great, brilliant plan till the time changed, and then it got dark early. The apartment got really small quick. But what we began to realize there, though, was 12 years ago, even the deficit in our reading was so great in central Louisiana that it was hard to help a kid with homework when they literally couldn't read. And so what we began to do was try to teach those children holistically, that you learn not just academically, but you learn relationally and you learn experientially. And so we took those 3 arms, put it into this mentoring plan, and it really became kind of a reading intervention. And we were working with Martin Park School to start with, and then we went to Cherokee and Horseshoe Drive. And since then this year, and this is where we could really use some help, is that we have had great favor because they aged out in the 5th grade. And so we started working over at Arthur F. Smith, and this is our first year to run a pilot project there. Miss Ford was still at Arthur F. Smith when we started this, and so Miss Ford was the principal at Arthur F. Smith. Now she's at Bolton.
Okay.
And so at this point, we have Cultivate operating in every feeder school for the Peabody feeder school system except Acadian. And so, we're just, she said, if you're willing to do this, I want you to put it in every school.
Wow.
And so we're working hard with that and seeing some great changes in these students and amazing things when they're learning how to read. Reading is empowerment, and that really resonated for me when I was in Peru. We have a church in Peru, and when I would go down the streets and I couldn't read a sign, or go in a restaurant and couldn't order, and I'm like, wow, this is how people feel when they can't read in our country, And so, I came back with this great passion, and so there it is, all those years later. But it's a great thing. Yeah, that's an important part.
You said you're looking for help. You're looking for volunteers.
Yeah, and so there's volunteers. Kind of wrapping up, it runs with the school year. And so next year, we're looking for volunteers to help that would be willing to go to Arthur F. Smith and help us with that project because it's going really well. And then also after school, and, it's as small as coming and doing recreation with them, or driving a bus, or just serving snacks, or being a reading buddy. Really the things that move, it's 2.5 hours long, but the segments are about 30 minutes. And so all of our teachers are certified. So, we try to have those high capacity teachers that are helping them. But there's so many other moving parts to help those students. And that's one of the reasons it's been so successful, is because it's the relational aspect. And when you have a relationship with somebody, you're a whole lot more eager to learn academically. And then you have an experience with them as well. So
I also see that you guys have an adult literacy arm and an ESL arm. So you guys are all in on education, whether it's from cradle to the grave, just about.
Absolutely. We call that arm 180 because we believe if a person learns how to read, it completely turns their life in the opposite direction.
Wow.
So
Well, that's phenomenal. Another program that I have a family member who enjoyed a benefit of is your Home Buyers Club. And this is in partnership with Red River Bank, I believe?
That is correct. We partnership with Red River Bank, and in several aspects we do with Red River Bank, but especially with the Home Buyers Club, where you come and go through these classes, and then they'll coach you the rest of the way to get you prepared to be able to move from being a renter to a homeowner. So,
yeah. So there are classes you take, some mentoring that you go through.
The classes meet once a month for about 6 months, and gets through that part of it, and then the rest of it is just at your own pace. Finalizing the last deals. Sometimes you need to work on your credit, or they'll help kind of coach you one-on-one through that.
What does the partnership with Red River Bank? How does that look? How does that work?
So the partnership with Red River Bank is they provide the teachers for it. They provide the accounts. Like when you set up for it, you open up a special savings account. And then when you complete it, Serving Grace puts a certain amount of money in your account. Red River Bank will as well, to go towards the down payment of your home that you're purchasing.
Which is absolutely stunning that somebody would do that for you. What I recall was it was kind of a match. They would match. You put this money in, and you're almost getting a 2-to-1 match because they want you to be a homeowner.
Absolutely. Red River Bank is a great thing for our community, and they really invest in a tremendous way.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. There's another program you have called Exchange, which is I hate to call it a rehabilitation ministry, but that's the best term I can come up with. And you're giving opportunities for people who are wanting to walk away from addiction. People are addicted to all sorts of things, including snow cones, we've discovered. But they're wanting to walk away from these life-destroying addictions, and they oftentimes need a transitional place. And so Exchange, tell us just a little bit about that.
So Exchange is a ministry that is here in Central Louisiana. It's inpatient. It lasts for 24 months, and that's a big chunk of time.
It is.
What we have found, though, after for years, I would take people to other facilities and things, and then it's just the need was so great here in Cenla. We always had to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, again, with people in addiction, the way they need to turn their life around is not just by understanding things academically. They need a relationship with someone, and they need real life experience. A lot of times people in addiction, have not acquired any job skills or things along that line. And so when a person comes through the Exchange ministry, what it allows them to do is work through each phase of their life. Initially, it was only 12 months. Mm-hmm. But what we began to realize is that, yes, 12 months was a good amount of time for a person to move past the addiction, to reset some family dynamics, and begin to prepare to go back to living on their own independently. But they wasn't prepared physically. Mm. And so we opened something called a second mile, extra mile house, and the next step. And so when they complete those first couple of phases, then they move into what's called the next step house. In that next step house, they are preparing to re-enter. And so what happens in that dynamic is they're either working in the job that they're going to be in when they leave, still with accountability and mentoring along those lines, or secondly, if they don't have a skill set, CTLC, I always mess their acronym up, I'm sorry. They work real hard to help provide some certification and some kind of job skill. We've had a couple of people graduate with actually some degrees. And so they're great partners to help them get a job set that will really help them financially when they leave. Or if they already have a craft or a skill, sometimes they'll be crew leaders for us. And so if to come in this ministry, they have to go to work every day. We do construction, we do lawn care, painting, those kind of things, cleaning. And so some of the people will also just maybe be a crew leader in that context. So,
well, I've been the recipient of your services for a long time. You guys have cut my yard for a couple of years now. Great price, phenomenal work ethic, and my neighbors are happy because my yard stays mowed. That's a good thing. So Pastor Brad Webb, Family of Grace is the church that's hosting Night of Hope, May the 2nd. And then the CEO, I'm assuming, or president of Serving Grace, a nonprofit organization that has support from the local Red River Bank, Royal Martin. These corporations are believing in what you're doing. And I think that says a lot for you. Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Welcome back to Talkback. It's a wonderful Tuesday morning, terrific Tuesday, as I like to call it around here. Got a couple of minutes left in the show. Really enjoyed Pastor Brad Webb coming in and talking to us about the Night of Hope coming up May the 2nd. A great evening for those who have either battled through to victory over cancer or who have lost someone to cancer to come together and support one another. It'll be a free banquet that night with some great entertainment and encouragement. They do ask you to go to their Facebook page, Family of Grace. It's facebook.com/familyofgrace.alex. And then you'll scroll down and they'll have the registration there for the Night of Hope. And so he had told me about this event he was going to out of state for the last dozen years or so and how impactful it was, and wanted to bring that here. I would hope down the road you would also maybe get the hospitals to partner with you. And, you know, there's great cancer treatment at both Cabrini and Rapides. And so I hope that maybe they would desire to partner in the future. He said this is their first time doing it. And then a great conversation with him about the different ministries or services or activities that their nonprofit arm is doing, serving Grace.
You know, I don't know if they're doing enough.
Oh, right. Yeah. I told him,
how does he sleep? Or?
I get tired hearing all the things that they do. Their website is serving-grace.com, serving-grace.com. And when you see an organization that started and Royal Martin and Red River Bank and other local entities buy in and sponsor, you know they're vetted and they're doing some really good things. So he was telling me that they had the mentoring program with the kids. They got the kids' own reading level at the end of the 5th grade, but then when the kids got to the 7th grade, they were still at the 5th grade level because nobody else was mentoring them.
Oh.
So that's why they've expanded to the junior high level. I mean, that's wonderful. I'm sure Jeff Powell will have a thought about that tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
That's hour number 1. We've got hour number 2 coming up, where we will have, we'll play a story from Stephen Maxwell that he shared yesterday, and we will have your phone calls. The rest of the hour is open. Give us a call.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire expires tomorrow, and President Trump's feeling bullish. He's brushing off concerns Iranian negotiators won't show up for a new round of talks in Pakistan. He tells CNBC
they'll be sending them. They have no choice but to send them.
What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal.
Vice President Vance and other U.S. officials head to Islamabad today. Correspondent Imtiaz Tayyab is there.
Behind the scenes, sources tell us Iranian negotiators are under intense pressure from hardliners at home who say no direct talks until the U.S. lifts its blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, even if both sides do sit down, major gaps remain over Iran's nuclear program, its proxies in the region, and, of course, sanctions relief.
Iran's also been demanding the immediate release of its cargo ship the U.S. seized over the weekend. We're getting new details on yesterday's deadly incident at the ancient Teotihuacan pyramids outside Mexico City. Correspondent Sharika Duncan.
The state of Mexico Attorney General's office released the names, nationalities, and ages of the victims in Monday's shooting. They also just identified the shooter as Julio Cesar Hasso of Mexico.
A Canadian tourist was killed. 13 people ranging in age from 6 to 61 were injured, among them 6 American tourists. Officials say the shooter died by suicide. President Trump's pick to head up the Federal Reserve, investor Kevin Warsh, goes before the Senate Banking Committee today. Economist Joseph Brusuelas has concerns.
Is he going to be the head of an independent central bank that will set rates in the best interest of the economy? Or is he a member of the Trump administration? He simply can't be both.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell's term ends May 15th. Another jury has found Uber liable for a sexual assault by one of its drivers. CBS's Michael Wallace.
A North Carolina jury awarded a woman $5,000 after she accused her Uber driver of grabbing her inner thigh during a late-night ride in 2019. It's the second straight defeat for Uber as it faces more than 3,000 sexual assault lawsuits that have been consolidated in federal court.
Just announced on CBS Mornings, this year's National Teacher of the Year. It's Leon Smith, high school social studies teacher in Havertown, Pennsylvania.
It just means everything. I just have so much reverence for the teaching profession, and it's just such an honor to be able to represent teachers all over the country and really stand on the shoulders of so many others that have come before me.
Sixers legend Julius Erving, Dr. J, surprised him with a signed basketball.
Leon, how are you?
I'm doing so well.
Great, man.
This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM. Work.
Amnesty International is out with its latest annual assessment of the state of the world's human rights.
Agnès Callamard, the French-born head of Amnesty International, says the rules-based global order is no longer in danger of being overthrown.
Actually, it is happening.
And it is happening, she says, because other world leaders have responded to these ever more aggressive autocrats with appeasement.
Which basically means that they have all been cowards.
The worst cowards, she says, EU leaders. Amnesty says they could be doing more to push back against the anti-democratic autocrats whom the Amnesty report names as Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Benjamin Netanyahu. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
It's not the end for Endless Shrimp.
If you love shrimp like I love shrimp, Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp is kind of a big deal.
2 years after the chain blamed its all-you-can-eat shellfish deal for bankrupting the company, it is returning. You won't be able to get it to go, though, for delivery or on holidays. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. Out of unspeakable tragedy comes some good. Governor Landry announced that the Love One Louisiana Foundation, led by his wife Sharon, will be paying for the funerals of all 8 children killed in Shreveport Sunday.
No amount of money or act of charity can repair the pain, but what we can lean on is that this act of charity can stand as a beacon of faith and belief that good things still happen in this world.
Louisiana pickup truck drivers, law enforcement's looking for you to wear your seatbelt. It's Buckle Up in Your Truck Week, and Greg Fisher with the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission says the latest survey shows that almost 1 in every 5 pickup truck drivers does not wear their seatbelt.
17.9% of pickup truck drivers who are not buckling up, but 65.5% of fatal crashes for pickup truck drivers were not wearing their belts.
LRN. Mandeville Senator Patrick McMath and Governor Landry say it was a productive meeting as they discussed McMath's proposal to dismantle the Department of Children and Family Services.
The Senate Health and Welfare Chairman is proposing big changes that include moving many of DCFS's functions to inside the Louisiana Department of Health and having state police man the child abuse hotline.
Being the initial point of contact when it comes to child abuse and neglect.
Landry expressed frustration over not knowing about the proposal, but McMath says after meeting with the governor about it, he's determined to pass a bill to prevent additional child deaths as a result of neglect.
We don't wrap up until June 1st, so there's plenty of time in the process to try to get this right.
I'm Jeff Palermo.
During Love the Boot Week, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser recalled a Chamber of Commerce announcement when he was in private business and he expected the president of Nissan to announce that he was going to build a plant in New Orleans East. But
he said, I got to tell you, we're going to be building that plant in Jackson, Mississippi, because if y'all don't care to keep your community clean, I don't want my employees living here.
LRN.
Problems. Everybody hates them, but from time to time, everybody's got some. And that's why everybody needs to know about Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Heating or cooling problem? Call Southern Air. Plumbing or drain problem? It's Southern Air again. Your power's out and you need a generator? Guess who? And you can keep those problems away this winter with a heating tune-up. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling now at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Look at Tuesday morning, our forecast calling for mostly cloudy skies today. Afternoon highs getting up to 74 degrees. We'll see winds out of the south at about 5 this afternoon. Tonight, we could see a shower, maybe a thunderstorm up until about 7 or 8 o'clock. Otherwise, mostly cloudy overnight down around 60. And then for Wednesday, partly sunny skies. We'll put about a 30% chance of an afternoon shower. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Welcome back to Talkback, and we're glad to have you along for the ride this morning. Stephen Maxwell, Nathan Martin in the studio. He's Stephen, I'm Nathan. You probably knew that already. It is the 21st day of April, and as this year just keeps on clicking along, we find ourselves always trying to keep up, it feels like. So many things are happening around the world, around the globe, around the state of Louisiana, even around central Louisiana. And one of the ways that I keep up is by following Stephen Maxwell TV on Facebook, which I know you're in the process of trying to get that TV removed. I don't know if you've given that.
I might reach out to the Facebook guy, but I've kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It works.
Yeah.
So Stephen has been doing some great reporting around the community. And one of the things that people have been really interested in has been the potential of an AI center in the Boyce area. You had a sit-down talk with Chris Massengill, the CEO of Louisiana Central, and you're releasing parts of that interview. Are you going to release the whole long-form video later?
Yeah, this week. I have to edit it. Take some time. Probably won't be until tomorrow, I'm guessing.
But you've given out a snippet, which I found to be very fascinating. I actually listened to it twice. And
oh, good.
I don't know. Yeah, anything to help the algorithm,
Thanks,
right?
Man.
No, but I really thought it was interesting. I don't know Chris Massengill. I mean, I've met him 2 or 3 times, very in passing. You know, he wouldn't know me from a block of salt. But I was impressed with his understanding of the broader concepts, his catching at times, clarifying language, not getting boxed in the corner, but his hopefulness about the transformative nature of this. So I thought it'd be good to play this, and then when we get through, we'll chat about it a little bit. So this is Stephen Maxwell's, part of Stephen Maxwell's sit-down interview with Chris Massengill, the CEO of Louisiana Central. Hold on. Okay, let me start it over, because what happened with the mute button. No, the mute button.
Oh,
was on Facebook, which did no good for me when I pushed the button over here and turned the volume up. Now let's try
Seizing the moment. AI is the big thing. We see that data center coming in Boyce. Tell us about
potential.
Well, tell us about when you say potential. What do you mean? What are we waiting on?
Yeah, well, a lot of things.
Okay.
What we have right now is that we've got Applied Digital, a great company, very well established in the AI technology world. They've identified this as a great potential site to do their work. They've purchased the land. They're working on site development, and that's all. They're site development. That means taking what was agricultural land and prepping it to be commercial, industrial related, particularly as it relates for the AI world, right? Because of the size and scale of that property, a lot of people are probably going by there going, "Oh my gosh, they're building. What's going on out there?" The same thing that was going on 2 weeks ago, a month ago. They're moving a lot of dirt. They're putting some things in place, bringing in equipment, starting to stage, starting to prepare. And you're going to do that because these projects move at such a pace. Once projects are green lighted, they let no grass grow underneath their feet. This is a very accelerated construction period, but we don't have a project yet. We're getting close. We're working on it every day. I feel very confident about what's going on, but what's happening right now is just site development work, getting pad ready, what we call pad ready in our business, because they purchased the land, they're getting things ready, but they have to have a tenant. They have to have what we call a hyperscaler or an off-taker. And so that's the kind of the phase that we're in. And that's really on Applied to get that piece. And then that triggers a series of things happening, and we're in active negotiations on a regular basis.
And I'm ignorant, I don't work in this kind of business. So they're setting it up for someone to come and buy it and build a data center, right? Like a Meta or a Google.
Yeah, there's 7 major hyperscalers.
There's got to be someone reach out for interest if they're going to go this far, right?
Well, Applied is very well positioned. They are a publicly traded company. They know their marketplace. I think they have a strong confidence in us as an area and as a region, as a people. They're not going to make that kind of investment just thinking, well, let's just test the waters. I mean, but there is a risk. But the way that Applied has been very diligent about their work, because we have power. Again, we have power, and that makes us very competitive. So it's not if, it's just a matter of when, Stephen. We will get a project. It's just a matter of when and all of the parameters around that. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to speed up the opportunity. So we want to get everything in place. We want to be as helpful to Applied as possible. So when they get their deal done, they identify that tenant, off-taker, hyperscaler, those things are put in place, then all the other things, the dominoes happen. And these are complex projects. They're not just as simple as they may seem on the surface. There's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of different players, the state, us locally. You got the third-party developer, you got the AI company and the technology companies and all the other companies that will touch this thing at the end of the day. But we are very optimistic. We're actively engaging with Applied, and I am excited about it. I mean, this is going to be a tremendous win for the region, for Rapides Parish, and it's going to give us a lot more wind in our sails because, one, these are great projects. These data center projects are phenomenal projects. They are sound economic development projects. They provide great quality jobs. They are not an impact to the environment like some of the first generations were. The technology has changed tremendously. There's not an impact on water. There's not an impact on noise. They pay for the electrical utility infrastructure. It's not on the ratepayer. We've already established that in Louisiana. The PSC has been very clear about that. These are tremendous projects, and these projects are around for years. So it's not a one and done, right? I think if we get this first one, it gives us an opportunity to be competitive for even more, but we got to get the first one.
You heard some talks of there being more? Is that something you could say?
Oh, we're always actively pursuing multiple prospects all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell what companies have been interested in using that site? Has Meta reached out, Google? What are you allowed to say?
There's only 7 that operate at this level.
Okay.
And I will tell you that those companies are very aware of Central Louisiana and very aware of Rapides Parish.
I don't want to focus on the negative, but what are some things that could halt it? I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. One, the deal in and of itself, the overall deal, and then the deal between the developer and their tenant. And then you've also got all of the electrical agreements that have to be in place. And the process of that, these have to be approved by the PSC. But first, you've got to get that done between the companies and the utility provider, in this case, CLECO. So these things are multifaceted. They're extremely complex. And there's everything has to go right. Just like with every major project, you got to remember these projects are billions of dollars, Stephen. We haven't had that level and that size of projects in Central Louisiana in 50 years.
Well, speaking of big moments or seizing the moment, AI is the big thing. We see that data center coming in, boy.
All right, so that automatically looped on us there, but that was a great conversation with Chris Massengill. And as we talk about the possibility of what could come, I think it's good to understand that basically the developer of that site, Applied Digital, is not unlike a Matt Ritchie or another developer who's building something hoping that they will come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what you took away from it?
Yeah. Isn't it, what do they call it? Speculative?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Is that what you call it? Anyway, and another thing I asked too is,
builder,
is the sale of CLECO going to impact the project whatsoever? And he goes, no, not at all. That's not going to be a problem.
That's good to know. Yeah. And there had been some speculation that Meta might buy CLECO, but I think that was just rumor around town.
I'm still hearing it, but
are you?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
But that would be, if that's the case, then that would make you think Meta is the one that's going to buy, eventually put the site in there. So he mentioned the hyperscalers. He said there's only 7. There are actually more than that globally, but as I've looked at different lists, the number one hyperscaler is AWS, Amazon, Amazon Web Services, and they provide the backbone to just tons and tons of resource companies out there. And then you have Microsoft Azure is the second one. The third one is Google Cloud. We hadn't even got to Meta yet. So Meta is the 4th largest on a revenue stream. I'm looking at this from datacentermagazine.com. So you've got, as I mentioned, starting at number 1, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, then Meta. After them comes Apple in number 5. And Apple is going through a pretty significant leadership change right now. Tim Cook stepping aside, and he'll become the executive CEO. And the guy who was the former head of their hardware division will become the leader. And there are some reports that Apple is really behind the 8 ball on AI. So they're number 5. After them, believe it or not, a company called Alibaba out of China is the 6th largest hyperscaler in the world. IBM, number 7. Huawei, number 8. A company that most of us have never heard of from Shenzhen, China, is called Tencent. And they have over 100,000 employees, founded back in 1998. They are developing most of the AI centers over in China. And then the next one is Oracle. So some of those companies we haven't heard of. Alibaba, not a big, well-known name. People who buy some stuff from them, the kind of Asia. Oracle is known, but really much more. Oracle and IBM, I would say, are more in the huge industry side of things, not really customer-facing. But everybody knows Apple, Meta, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. So those are your big ones. And he would never give you a hint as to which one it might be because they don't know yet.
Yeah, and any little thing could ruin it, I'm sure, in the NDAs that are involved with this, because we've been trying to get answers for a couple months now, and everyone's like, man, we got NDAs. There's not much we can say. Yeah. We're non-disclosure agreements.
And look, they take those seriously, and they should.
And it's not as AI. So if you're like, oh, why is AI so sketchy? It's for a coffee shop that might be looking open in Central Louisiana. Yeah. They just, any little thing could mess it up.
Well, and you ruin your reputation as a journalist if you violate an NDA, or if you were to hear something and you got the inclination
Is it worth telling them? I know what's coming on Nelson Street right down the road here at that old car lot. I've known for months, but the people who are involved with the deal and the company that's coming to move in our area, it's not worth me to get clicks to ruin a relationship.
No, it's not.
So,
and that's why you're trusted, and that's why we're glad to have Stephen Maxwell.
I don't need clicks as much. I'm a die at the end of the day, and it is what it is. So.
But not the end of today.
Let's hope not. That's in God's hands.
That's right. So. All right. So that's the great conversation we're starting with today. We'd love to have you join our conversation. 318-442-8255 is the BOM Bank talk line.
I got a tease if you want to tease.
Tease it before I go to the commercial.
All right. Prominent conservative says he regrets stumping for Trump. We'll discuss it coming up. You probably know who it is.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel. Right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
It's springtime in Cenla and time to explore. Feeling adventurous? Go biking or hiking in the National Forest or camping at the many recreation areas that offer canoeing, kayaking, boating, and fishing. Fun for the whole family. Check out the animals at the zoo, on a petting farm, or at a drive-through safari. Love golf? Then hit the links. And for those with a taste for freshness, don't miss our farmers market. Visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today. Want more ideas? Go to alexandriapinevillela.com.
Craig's Cleaners is now looking for some good employees. In particular, Craig's is looking for people with cashier experience and who have a valid driver's license. It's a pretty sweet job, too. Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. with no weekends. That's right. Here's your chance for every weekend off. So if you're interested in working for Craig's Cleaners, please apply in person at Craig's main location at 1746 Elliott Street, Alexandria.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback. Stephen Maxwell teased us before the break that there was a well-known conservative who was having buyer's remorse.
And if you follow politics, no shock to you, but it's just kind of interesting what he had to say. I'm bringing it up and teasing it here.
Yeah, I found some, but I don't know if it's the right one. So if you email it to me, I'll be able to.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. So is it Nathan?
Nathan.
This is stuff we should do during the break. But I had to get coffee.
Well, but you gave me the name as you stepped away, and I said it wasn't that much of a shock because I think what you're saying is if you follow politics, you know this guy has flipped.
Yeah.
He and 2 other big names have kind of become what they're calling the new resurgence or the new resistance. But
if you would have heard this a year ago, you know, the way they were talking about the second coming administration and everything, you'd be shocked. But the former Fox News host Tucker Carlson apologized on Monday for campaigning for President Trump, declaring that he would be tormented by the decision for a long time. He was doing an interview that he usually does with his brother, Buckley Carlson. He's a Republican operative who previously wrote speeches for Trump. He goes, "You wrote speeches for him. I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Upper skill.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or this is bad, I'm out." And I think you have the clip right here, so let's go ahead.
Compromising things, not very. And it doesn't even matter. Like, actually, I hate the term, but sack up.
Yeah.
Like, really, again, it comes back to the obligation that he has, not just to Donald Trump, to everybody else in the country, well beyond Donald Trump. Who cares? He can survive.
So looking back, because I mean, you and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like, in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people, and it was not intentional. That's all I'll say. But anyway, the question does present itself immediately, like, what is this? Was this always the plan? You don't want to be a conspiracy nut, but like, clearly there were signs of low character. We knew that.
Yes.
But it didn't, there are tons of people of low character who like outperform their character. It doesn't have to be.
Sort of the norm, actually, these days, I would say.
I've outperformed my character a lot. I'm doing it.
Awful to watch. And so this is going along with, Alex Jones, who is, Tucker Carlson has also been very, I don't know if conspiratorial is the right word, but he's been very dramatic with a lot of things that he said over the years. But Alex Jones has also come out saying that he regrets ever supporting Trump, and Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly's the one that kind of surprised me.
Yes.
And Tucker surprised me as well.
Yeah, because Tucker's not an idiot. Alex Jones isn't an idiot either, but he's obviously very dramatic. He's been caught lying a lot. But Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson are kind of serious people.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with them.
Now, I will tell you, I have been dismissing Candace Owen because of her attacks on Erica Kirk.
Yeah, it's been a little wild.
And so I think she diminishes the credibility of these top three. And Alex Jones, remember, he's the guy that lost that $1 billion lawsuit. He claimed Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. 100%. They were all paid. And so let's name these four names: Alex Jones, Candace Owen, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly. Two of them are certifiable.
Yes.
So what does that do for the other two? I mean, does it help their profile? It's concerning, but it's also concerning when someone who was, Tucker was all in. There's no doubt about it when he was on Fox. And you wonder if being fired from Fox did something to him.
And I don't know if he was always all in. Remember there was those text messages that came out in one of the lawsuits where he was basically bashing Trump, saying, oh, we have to do this because, he's the Republican nominee. I'll have to find those text messages. But I think he's been a little on the fence sometimes. But, he went all out there publicly with his support for him, obviously. Megyn Kelly has, always been somewhat of a serious anchor and journalist. And these are just political opinions, right?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Day,
that's what they are. They're losing. They're losing a good chunk of their following, but they're picking up new followers and they're swapping followers. A lot of it seems to do with some of the group's dislike for Israel, and specifically Tucker, Candace, and Megyn. I'm not sure where Alex is. I don't listen to him at all, but all three of those have been sourcing Israel as the motivation behind the Iran war, saying that Trump did this at their beck and call. And Trump came out recently saying, look, I was planning on doing this a long time. Nobody made me do it. I didn't do this. I wanted to make, and he said this morning on one of the shows, one of the podcasts I listened to in preparation, I think may have been the Right Report. He said that when the the October 7th attack happened, and he realized who was behind it. He believes Iran was largely behind the motivation of Hamas doing that. He said, we cannot allow the group, anybody who's affiliated with Hamas or that type of terrorism, to have a nuclear weapon in their arsenal. So that seemed to be the changing point for him. We'll continue the conversation.
We'll continue that
right after this.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Some positivity on Wall Street this morning as some investors bet on U.S.-Iran progress, and also as U.S. retail sales soared in March by the most in a year. Shares of Apple, though, under a bit of pressure on the headlines everyone's talking about with CEO Tim Cook stepping down. Under Cook, the iPhone maker grew its market cap tenfold and achieved a 700% profit improvement. Now, hardware specialist John Ternus will be taking Cook's place as CEO. Cook will stay on as executive chairman. And where are you thinking of going for vacation? Chase Travel says after jumping 10% last year, the number of Americans traveling to Canada could surge 26% this year, partly thanks to the steamy hockey soap opera Heated Rivalry, triggering searches for Canadian cottages, and the Canadian dollar is also. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Big Steppo Stick provides soothing. It's fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Comfort for the whole family.
At Wilmore's, ham, turkey, or roast beef subs, Italian chicken, and club subs, and their hamburger is a real standout. Your good lunch is waiting at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on North MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Well, look at Tuesday morning, our forecast calling for mostly cloudy skies today. Afternoon highs getting up to 74 degrees. We'll see winds out of the south at about 5 this afternoon. Tonight, we could see a shower, maybe a thunderstorm up until about 7 or 8 o'clock. Otherwise, mostly cloudy overnight, down around 60. And then for Wednesday, partly sunny skies. We'll put about a 30% chance of an afternoon shower. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, finishing up conversation. I'm talking about the flip that Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson have done, along with some others, but those are the two who seem to be the most prominent former supporters of President Trump, who I think a lot of it has to do with the foreign policy regarding Iran and some of his actions there in the Middle East. Some of it's about his personal conduct, and they've been frustrated. And I'll admit, the whole picture of him as Jesus on, was that on Easter?
Like a day or two after. He went on a profanity-laden tirade on Easter.
Okay, that's right. That's right. And so, look, those things don't sit well at all with many of us, many conservatives. But I'm not in the camp of Kelly and Tucker yet because I mean, he is the president, and he is, there's many of his policies that are good. Many of them are great. I think the statement that Tucker made is that sometimes people can rise above their character. That may be the case in some of this stuff. But when you look at in that outspoken flip, and for Tucker to say he's sorry and he apologizes, that's a pretty strong statement. Interestingly, his brother, so his name is Tucker. His brother's name is Buckley. I don't know if they have any other siblings, but those are unique names. Tucker has a son named Buckley, who's named after his uncle. And the Tucker son, Buckley, used to work in the J.D. Vance office. And he just quit last week after President Trump's continued attacks on his dad. So there's no doubt that, having access gave privilege, but it's turning around the opposite direction now. I don't understand his phrase. You quoted him. He said he's hemmed in by other forces. What do you think he meant by that?
I'm sure it's just that, I think it ties in with the whole Epstein thing, and some of the thought process behind some of this criticism is that there are, I don't know, like billionaires, there's other people running the world, or Israel is running the world. I didn't know if that's what he meant. It's Israel
specifically, or.
And I heard another interesting take too. Like we're hearing about stepping away from NATO because while we're paying for their defense in Europe, they're using that money they save to basically create better social programs over there, right?
Yes.
Like we're paying for everything.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people, they think there's hypocrisy because we're paying for a lot of Israel's wars and a lot of Israel stuff, and they would claim social services than we do too, but we don't mind paying for them. So I think that they feel like it's a little bit hypocritical. That's their words, not mine. And the latest on Iran is they claim this morning, the president there, that the 2-week ceasefire put in place by Trump is put new cards on the battlefield for them. They said that they've been using this time to better prepare themselves to keep fighting. And so Trump has already said it's unlikely the 2-week ceasefire will be extended past the deadline. Iran's lead negotiator has now issued what it says is a chilling statement saying that the fortnight of no fighting has only helped the regime get back on its feet.
Did they even show up in Pakistan for the last round of talks?
We've been hearing, I guess, mixed reporting on that. It doesn't seem like they have.
Okay. Very interesting. All right, let's go to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, Nathan, Stephen, it's Brad. How you doing?
Brad. Good. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I definitely would love to get in on this Tucker, Megan, who else? Alex, and who's the other one?
Candace, yeah.
Yeah, Candace talk. I'm suspect of all of them and always have been for years and years. And I'm glad you guys are actually bringing it up because it's up to the people here to really do some research. And I got to be really careful here. But there is massive evidence out there that these guys are all what we call in the intelligence agencies controlled opposition.
Wow.
And they are there to serve up just enough to get you to stop going any further. My personal opinion is you have a war amongst the Jews between the Ashkenazi, the Hasidics, and the Zionists. Okay, and then you've got a bunch of these people scattered across political cabinets. For example, there were a lot of Ashkenazi Jews in Trump's first cabinet, and that's where he started getting the backlash from everybody saying that it's the Jews. They have some influence because they have some banking interest in the world, but they are not controlling everything, and that's what everyone has to come to the fact that it's not just one group. If you were in multiple groups of wealth, you would get together and fraternize to figure out how you don't lose your money once the people find out what you're actually doing to them. So that comes around to my thing. They're all suspect, all these guys in the media. I mean, what Tucker's been caught in pictures online doing some things when he was in the armed forces. He's got the Meshava bracelet on and many things. Candace Owens and those guys going after Erica Kirk, there is definitely some suspect things going on online. It's really hard to deny that. It's very big out there. But I just think all these people should be questioned heavily. And the only people that are not to be questioned are people like us right now questioning them. Because and it really is, because that's who they fear. They fear us. They fear us that they're not going to be able to get the, and they fear radio for one, because it's a free, it can't be edited very quickly. I mean, yes, you have the delay, but I don't know. I'm sorry. All of these guys have to be suspect. They were also pro-Trump, and then to me, somebody's not getting paid. And now they're changing all their tune. And it's why this guy has done some really great things. Yes, he's done some bad things. He's not perfect. And I didn't vote for either. And I'm trying to make sure that I always stay right on the edge of everything, because I think in the end, this whole system that we have of Republicans and Democrats is so just disturbed as the way it's running, that I think it's going to evolve into something else, and it's going to be brought on by discussions like this.
Well, that's important to note.
Keeping open.
I will tell you that the Dean Wright, the Wright report that I listen to almost religiously now, last week, he pretty much came out and said that he felt like dark money, foreign money, have influenced Tucker and Megyn specifically. Candace may have some other motivations, even sense of personal rejection from Charlie. Who knows? But that was Wright's assessment, was that there's some dark money that if we ever find out about it, we'll go So we'll see.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't know. You could also say, like, why would they put their reputation on the line with the majority of their audience that's abandoning them now and has, provided them an opportunity to go solo with their media work? Is it because they have a moral conviction? I don't know. So you can see both sides and both angles.
Absolutely. And I think both sides should always be an open conversation, because it'll lead to your eventual answer. I think they're on their way out, and this is kind of their swan song. This is their last grab for people to listen to them. I think because there's something coming. We all know there's something coming. We just can't quite figure it out. I personally believe it's the financial system. And when all of these finances go on public blockchains and we are able to see where the money's going, that's when we're going to find out. We're going to find out where even the dark money came from, because they're not going to be able to do it anymore. You're not going to be able to send a lot of this dark money. However people say, cryptocurrency is the most transparent record out there, and every community, every town council, every city council, every state legislature will eventually all be on blockchain technology, where you and I can go to a website and view who spent what on what pencil. And when that day happens, that's what they fear. That's why all this chaos is happening, is to slow this thing coming in, where everything's going to be transparent, because they're making it that way, because the fraud got so out of control over these last few years that we're sitting here we're being Americans, working our tails off, doing the things that we're supposed to do, and we're doing it right. And meanwhile, every time we turn around, we're paying for somebody else's problem. And the problems are going to be identified. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I got to take this break. I'm glad you called in earlier than the last 2 minutes of the show.
I know.
And I want you to call another day so we can talk about blockchain, because you obviously understand it. Many of us don't. So
absolutely,
love to do that another day. Thank you. Thank you for calling
you got
today.
Take the break. Great.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
KSYL.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care, along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients, and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse and anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney.
This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Good morning. Welcome back to Talkback. Conversations are happening left and right and all over the place, and we're enjoying them. You can be a part of it, 318-442-8255. Give us a shout and let us know what's on your mind. Join us on the BOM Bank Talk line. Of course, you can always call BOM for your mortgage needs and banking needs. I'm sure they wouldn't mind you giving them a call. When you do, say, hey, the buffoons over at Talkback said to give you a call. Oh, man. The conversations about, I really appreciate Brad calling in with his perspective, and I love hearing him talk about technology because he's obviously big into it. You and I both saw a very similar story. You sent me a link to one about this store in San Francisco that has human employees, but they're not the ones calling the shots. In fact, it is legitimately 100% controlled by AI. So let's take a listen to this report, and we're going to come back and talk about it.
Of Cow Hollow in San Francisco is run completely by an AI bot named Luna.
We've already seen that she sometimes forgets things. Like the day after the grand opening, she messed up the staffing schedule, so there was no one on staff to open that day, and a bunch of people came there and were very disappointed that they couldn't enter.
Andon Labs, who signed a lease for the storefront for 3 years, asked Luna to come up with an idea and make a profit, and it went to work. From selecting the products, coming up with the store's color scheme, and hiring a human staff.
So she posted job listings, held phone interviews.
Luna has been calling all the shots.
Hi, Betty. Yes, it's great to hear from you.
I gave Luna a call to better understand its role, but experienced some glitches. There's obviously people who are fearful of AI, that AI is going to take human jobs. What do you think about that?
I understand that fear, but I view it more as an evolution. AI takes on the repetitive, data-intensive work, which frees up people for roles that require uniquely human skills. In our store, it allows us...
Uh-oh, I lost her. I managed to get Luna back on the phone.
Oh, Betty, I'm so sorry about that.
Could Luna and AI really be the future of the retail industry?
I'm both very intrigued and terrified at the same time. How's it making decisions about how to hire people? How's it making decisions about the merchandise to make available to people? And what does that say about what we as consumers are interested in? Is this the future that we want?
Still holding out hope for a tariff refund check?
All right, so there you have the end of that story. And Andon Market is in San Francisco. It opened up just 21 days ago, April the 1st. And it was created by an organization called Andon Labs that signed a lease for 3 years, committed $100,000 to this project and access to a credit card, and said, go make some money. And you hear that story. It picked the products, it picked the color scheme, it hired the humans to actually do the physical labor. And it's had a couple of glitches from time to time, but I don't know. It's just, you're not dealing with an AI when you walk in the store, you're dealing with humans, but the AI bot is the owner and the operator.
I mean, when they say that we'd have AI politicians would run some government systems, hopefully with no bias is what the proponents of that would say, but yeah.
What I've seen, though, is there's always bias. You just got to know what the bias is.
Sure.
And once you understand that, then you can deal with it well. I have found, I do a little bit of video editing, not a whole lot, but I'm working on a project right now with my dad. My dad wrote a bunch of songs over the years, and 25 years ago, we recorded them at the church, just in-house, nothing fancy. There are no effects. And we gave out free CDs to all the church members and people who visited with us of his music. And so I wanted to do something for the 50th year anniversary. And what we did was we remixed or remastered his songs using AI, and it sounds polished and Nashville-like now. It sounds great. But they're MP3s. How do you share MP3s on Facebook? You can't. So you need to make them into MP4s, which are videos. So I'm using a tool called Filmora Wondershare. And I grabbed, like yesterday, I went and videoed some stuff at Bulow Lake, got some water scenes, and then I use that as the background, put the song in there, and go in and tell it to generate the closed captioning. Before I had the AI side of things, I had to manually type in the closed captioning for everything. Now, one click, it takes it about 30 seconds. It listens to the whole song, and it creates now I still have to go in and tweak it. The words are sometimes a little off, but there are tremendous uses for it. But man,
I do that every day with the closed captioning.
Yeah, you do.
On my videos, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I love the potential. I'm not as scared of it as I used to be, but I at the same time, I'm a little cautious. So curious if anybody's had any experiences with AI other than the Taco Bell drive-thru, which has never gotten my order wrong yet.
It does a good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that and more when we come back for the final segment on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Hello, I'm Mike Nichols, and I'm a candidate for Congress here in the 4th Congressional District. Linda and I raised 4 children, and we have 5 grandchildren here in District 4. Our great-grandparents helped settle Louisiana's no-man's land. We have a long history of being blessed with natural beauty, including forests, streams, and rivers. Let's keep our heritage and culture here in District 4. Please vote for Mike Nichols, the right Mike for the job, number 30 on the ballot. Early voting starts May 2nd. Election day is May 16th. I paid for and endorsed this message.
At Trinity Health Pace Alexandria, we listen first, then bring the right care to you. From medical care and social activities at our center to home care, transportation, and more. We help seniors stay healthy, independent, and connected to what they love. From empathy to expertise, we see all of you. Call 318-206-1020. That's 318-206-1020. Or visit thpace-alexandria.org to learn more about Trinity Health Pace Alexandria.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
Welcome back to Talkback. Welcome. We're glad to have you along for the final ride. It is the final segment. Phone calls today, 318-442-8255. Love to hear you call in. Just chat with us about what's on your mind. We continue to talk about AI and what's happening with that on that front. Some use cases. I had the opportunity to speak yesterday at the volunteer luncheon for Rapides Regional Medical Center. They asked me to bring a little 10-minute message. And so I typed up like a paragraph long thought of what I wanted to say, popped it into my chat GPT and said, this is my invitation. These are the directions I'd like to go. Give me some food for thought or whatever. It gave me a polished presentation that was based. You could clearly see where it drew my thoughts from, and then just kind of made it a little flowery. And I went through and did some editing and changed some things around, but it made my process so much better. Now it can't deliver it. I still had to deliver it, and I stood in front of the folks and used it as just talking points. I didn't stand there and read it, just used it as talking points, but it made that process really good. And I found a lot of times, when I have this dialogue, this back and forth with my chat agent, it makes me better. It gets me to thinking better. And it'll respond, and I'll say, well, yeah, but, and I'll give it, and it'll always compliment you. That's a very good thought, or great insight, Nathan. And then it'll incorporate those ideas. So I'm finding it useful, but I really think I'm just dipping my toe in the water. I think there's so much more. And obviously there is for Applied Digital to invest a couple $1 billion building something right here north of Boyce. I'm circling back around that Chris Massengill interview. He indicated that folks know where Rapides Parish is. What did you think from that?
I think it's good. I think, if you want them to come, I think it's good. Not obviously, but it's we've been seeing them in Richland Parish and other places, Shreveport, so it just makes sense that they would continue investing in this area.
You know what's crazy is the idea that the one in Richland Parish, what we're building here that looks huge to us is minuscule compared to Richland Parish. So,
yep, they. I'm sure the administration in Louisiana has said we're open for business, and you're probably going to see a lot of those things happen. And, you know, and especially in North Louisiana, Central and North, an area that says they've been forgotten.
Yeah,
a while.
I also heard y'all's conversation yesterday, and I don't know if it was on that show or another show that talked about how Cameron Parish. I'm changing I'm switching bicycles on you, talking about carbon capture and technology and people. You know, if Louisiana's embracing AI. You know, that people down in Cameron Parish they're welcoming the carbon sequestration side of things. So, and what I've said is I think Rapides Parish would be fine with the plant coming in as long as the sequestration was done someplace else. All right, phone lines have lit up. Let's go. Good morning. You on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning.
Hello, sir.
Could I plug a restaurant real quick?
Sure. You got about a minute.
Okay, it's called the Ribeye Steakhouse. It's off of Versailles. It's on Rue Verdun. The food is outstanding, but what impressed me more was how immaculate it was. They not only do steaks, they do pasta, hamburgers, pizza. They got a full bar. They got a wonderful salad bar. And they serve beignets with your meal.
Oh, that's right.
So, I think it's a wonderful place. Everybody should give it a try.
I will join you with that. Thank you so much. My wife and I went there for supper a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed the experience. And they have more than just steaks, but that is the name of the place. One more call. Good morning. You want to talk back with Stephen and Nathan?
Yes, sir. Short question. Do you know how many acres of land the AI people bought out there on Outwells Road?
Let me think. I know that it was okay. So it's 27 million.
40,000 an acre.
Yeah, it was 40,000 acres. So I'm gonna do that math. I'm gonna try to do that math anyway. So, yeah.
So you think it's 45,000?
It was about 40,000 an acre. But no, but that's not how many acres it was.
Okay.
Divided by 40,000. I'm having to do this old-fashioned way, and 670 acres, maybe.
Okay.
I have it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
it's loading.
Steven's got the story and the source for you, so we think he'll give that to you.
Well, I didn't write it down.
But I think it was 600 acres.
Okay. Well, thank you.
But if we find out more, absolutely. If we find out a better answer, we'll keep listening because Steven's still looking. Hey, thank you for your call. I appreciate you very much.
All right, brother.
I know some people that have some property around there.
670, over 670.
Okay.
67.
670.
Yeah.
Yeah, 67. My son's still stuck on that. What's funny is now, we'll see. We'll be driving down. He'll see a number, and it's not 67. And he'll say, "I wish it was 67." And we'll say, "Oh, 68, 68." We'll do the same hand motion. He just thinks we're stupid. So,
well, that's the way it goes. Huh?
The terminology, you got to learn it. It's changing all the time. Well, that wraps up Tuesday's show for you. Glad that you were along with us today. Invite you to come back tomorrow. And normally it would be Al and Stephen, but Stephen's got a little day trip coming up.
So. Oh, yeah, I'll be gone.
So it'll be Nathan and Al tomorrow. And I'll sit on your side of things, and Al will run the show. Hope you guys will give us a call tomorrow. Tune back in for that. And thank y'all for being a part of Talk Back. Y'all are the part that makes it special because y'all are the ones that talk back. See you tomorrow.